Hey everybody, it's 13th Wolf Manual. Today is day 8. Day 8 of the 31 Days of Horror. So we have started a new week. Yesterday was day 7, the end of a full week. Today's day 8, the start of a new week. But with me and my theme, it doesn't really mean anything. But there are other people out there doing stuff like Random Horror and the one and only MSJ. They have themes going on. So Random Horror did Rob Zombie movies all last week. So if you want to, go over there and check out all his stuff. And the one and only MSJ, his theme was like different kinds of items that are involved in horror, like an axe or whatever, you know. A chainsaw. One of them was a chainsaw. You know, and this week, I know for a fact, that the one and only MSJ is doing Jess Franco films. So you definitely got to pop over there and check that out. I don't know what Random Horror's doing, you know. But here we go. 31 movies, 31 days, 31 videos. Hopefully I get 31 comments per, video. If not, it's just something I'm shooting for. But, yeah, so there are other people doing this. I've already mentioned 2 of them. The one and only MSJ, a.k.a. Brother Max, Random Horror. You got Double Shot J, you got Mood 616, Jennifer Toshi, Have Cheetah Will View. Who else is doing this? I mean, Gore King. I mean, there are others out there doing this, and we've been doing it for years, man. I mean, it's been a long road doing these. And I don't mind doing them. I love doing the 31 days. This year I went with a theme, and it's kind of like mini trilogies and alternate ways to view the movies. Like when I started this month off, I started off with Final Destination 5, and then I went to Final Destination, the first movie, because they flowed into one another. So today we're starting a new franchise, and it's so weird. So I just got done watching The Conjuring 1, 2, and 3 with you guys. Sharing my thoughts on each one with you guys. And when I was making up this list, every year I make up this list like in May. You know, I'm like, oh man, I need to get on it. You know, like just my head. I'm like, I need to get on it. You know, it's like 5 months early. You know, this year I procrastinated and like a week before October, I'm talking to Brother Max, and I'm like, dude, I still need to do my list. So I sat down one day and I just started. Since I didn't have a lot of new stuff that I bought this year, I'm just like, okay, I have a ton of movies around the Doom Room. Let's watch some of the stuff that we haven't watched in a while. You know? So I just started putting stuff down, and I didn't put it down in any particular order, not thinking about it. So when I got to today's movie, I had to laugh because The Conjuring was the first movie was directed by James Wan. The second movie was directed by James Wan. The third movie was a story by James Wan and directed by someone else. And today we have a James Wan movie, Saw. This is Leigh Whannell and James Wan. And James Wan directed this too. I'm like, I didn't do this on purpose. I just had to laugh. His name is on everything. That guy is busy. Leigh Whannell is in this as Adam. Carrie Ells is in this as Dr. Lawrence Gordon. And if you haven't seen Saw, Saw's a really cool movie. I mean, it's not it's really funny because it's not really all that gory. You know, the most blood you see is towards the end of the movie. You know, you think with the movie like with a title like Saw, you know, things do happen in this movie, but it's like watching Halloween, the original Halloween. There's not a whole lot of blood in that. There's not a whole lot of blood in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but people believe that it's like the bloodiest movie out there. This movie, blood aside, because that really doesn't bother me, the story is tight. So, Dr. Gordon and Adam wake up in this room with a body in it, and they have no idea. You know, they're working on their senses and trying to remember how or why they're there. And things unfold through time. Most of this movie is told in flashbacks, which is really cool. You know, we find out who Dr. Gordon is and what he's done, and who the accessories the accessories are in this movie. Tobin Bell plays Jigsaw. We don't see Jigsaw for the longest time in this movie. Michael Emerson is in this. Michael Emerson has made a living playing some of the creepiest little characters ever. I mean, he was on this. He was in this. He was on Lost. He's on that show Evil. You know, the first season, which is the only season I got to watch because then they moved it to streaming, and I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, so this set up a really interesting phase in horror. So most people call it torture porn. I hate that phrase. I hate everything about that phrase, because the person that came up with that title or that moniker or whatever you want to call it was somebody that's not into horror. He was a writer that reviewed a movie, and he referred to that movie as nothing more than torture porn. And everyone has clinged on to that phrase. And, you know, like, oh, I don't like Hostel. I don't like that kind of, you know, then they use those two words. I'm like, you know that all you're doing is feeding this terrible person's ego by using the term over and over and over, you know. All horror has some kind of torture to it, you know? And to say that we're getting off, you know, porn means you're getting off watching this, you know? And I'm sorry, but I watch horror movies because, well, I like horror movies, not because I get charged out of it, you know? Do I like seeing the bad people in these movies, you know? Something happened to them? Sure, why not? But it doesn't get me sexually aroused. So let's stop from this point on using the term torture porn and just call it horror. You know? Because that's all it is. Saw is an awesome movie. I love the ending of this movie. There's something that happens at the very ending of this movie that just makes you go, whoa, you know, and you're like, that really happened, you know. I think you all know what I'm talking about. And there's something at the very beginning of the movie that happens that you understand why certain things can't happen. And it's kind of funny because they don't realize it's happening until after. You know, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. Carrie Ells, Monica Potter's in this. What's her name? Shawnee Smith. It's just a well done movie. Yay for James Wan. I mean, I swear, I did not plan it that way. I did not plan to watch 4 movies in a row that had James Wan involved in one way or another. It just makes me laugh. So, always like, subscribe, share, and comment. I always want to know what you have to say. When you do like, then you do subscribe. It helps me get my stuff out to other people. Go over and check out those other guys. You like, subscribe, and comment on their stuff. They need to help get their stuff out to other people. And as always, I am the 13th Wolfman, and I'm on the prowl.